Alternative Addiction. Interview exclusive.
Can you give me like a little bit of background on you guys and where you guys are from and how long you guys have been around and all that stuff?
Sure. Well, our parents are Puerto Rican, so we've got a lot of actually Puerto Rican heritage. We mostly grew up in Sarasota, Florida. We've kind of been here for like the last 20 plus years. Grew up here, went to school here. We've been playing music naturally. I mean, we've had a somewhat of a musical background with our family. Playing music at family gatherings, all that kind of stuff. We played music as just kind of a way of bonding as brothers from our teens until now. And a lot of it really started to take off. Well, we started off usually playing like gigs in Gainesville. That was kind of like the first experience, and playing in front of people and kind of really hashing through that, getting that practice to play live. But we knew kind of from the beginning that we wanted to do something different, something that just kind of take a different approach on it. Like most artists, I always say this, most artists, it seems like they start touring to build a following. But we kind of wanted to do it backwards, like build a following somehow using the internet before we started touring, So naturally, we thought one of the best ways of doing that would be through YouTube, to post some videos of us playing some songs and just to try to be somewhat smart about it and to see, if there was a reaction. So we started, and I think that the big video for us was probably, I think it was like our second video. It was actually a Rihanna umbrella cover, interestingly enough, and it was just a really exciting time because it just kind of took off. Like you could see the comments and the views just going up every day. It seems like, I guess, that people were spreading it to their friends, and it just really took off, and it was exciting. So we kind of took that as a good sign, to keep going, that it was working. So we just really worked hard at it and kept posting videos of some of our favorite songs, or some of our all-time favorite songs or favorite songs that we heard on the radio at the time. And it was pretty challenging to try to come up with, different acoustic arrangements, and to keep writing our own music and to keep posting that out there, which always got a very good response too. But we just kind of rode that, and we made sure to have all the social networks, MySpace, when Twitter came out or when it started getting popular, we jumped on that and tried to use that to our advantage to reach out to our fans the best we can. We always had Facebook, our own website, our own BoyceAvenue.com website. So it's pretty much all of that. And then I think what really helped to solidify the whole approach was when we did see the reaction online and we knew we were ready to actually take it out on the road. And I think that was more like late 2000. I think that was early 2009, actually, that we decided to kind of take it out on the road and to do some shows and do some mini tours. And those were successful, so pretty much we used that to get to where we are now. We recently signed with Universal Republic, which we're excited about. As I'm sure you guys know, we released our single, Every Breath, already, and it's doing very well on your website, and we thank you guys a lot for that support. And June 15th is kind of like that big date for us where we're going to release our major label debut album. It's called All We Have Left. So that's pretty much where we're at now. We just released a music video recently, I think a month ago, for Every Breath. And we really hope for the best,
Cool, man. Nice. And thank you for the drop. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, man. Well, and as far as doing things backwards, kind of building the online base and then, building that for touring. When you started touring, did you see like a bigger crowd because of that?
Yes, we definitely did. Especially interestingly enough, sometimes we had very good audiences in the U.S., but sometimes in different markets, even around the rest of the world, because maybe geographically the country's smaller or something, but you'd see like even a slightly bigger reaction. Like, well, one example of that, this was just like, it seems so random, but it just worked out really, really well, was in the Philippines. We got contacted by somebody in the Philippines to come perform there. So, we ran it through our booking agent, ran it through our managers, and we went over there, knowing that we have a big fan base over there, because you can just kind of tell through the comments and messages you get. A lot of people will say where they're from, or they'll be commenting in a different language, and that's always fun to try to read those. But yeah, we got this vibe that we had something kind of bubbling over there. But again, we went over there not knowing entirely what to expect, and there were just like thousands and thousands of people. So that was like a really, really cool, very gratifying moment, that like, wow, he was, we went to Europe too. That was another really good market for us. But
what about making this album, man? Like, are they all older songs that you guys have kind of come up with over the years? Or are they mostly fresh songs that you wrote for the record? Can you talk about just like making the record a little bit?
Yeah, sure. This record was kind of half and half. A lot of the songs, probably half of the songs on the album, we've had for a few years now. Like I think one of the ones that's probably closest, one of the closest songs to me is called "Find Me," and that was actually the first song I ever wrote. And I think I wrote that like senior year in high school back in early 2005. And then we've got some newer material. It's kind of like some of those songs we really wanted the world to hear, and a good amount of people have heard so far. We kind of feel like they deserve that major label debut album kind of treatment. Like we would have felt odd not to have some of the first songs that we ever wrote that we're super, super proud of to be on that kind of an album, to be with, backed by that push, to be with some of our major tours and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of took some of the best songs that we had up until that point, up until about a year and a half ago, and then we took it upon ourselves to write, half of a new record for those fans who had been listening to those for the last two years, the last 3 years, to give them kind of something fresh. But again, we also knew that, new fans that we were going to make in the future that hadn't heard some of those old songs, we felt that was a really important part of our story and who we were. So it's kind of half new, half old. And for us, this whole album is really personal because we self-produced the whole thing, and we co-mixed, some of the acoustic tracks. And it was a lot of work to do that, because we've never really worked with a producer for the most part. We just kind of partnered up with some really great engineers that could help us kind of get the sound that was in our head,
Cool. Your brother's calling me on the other line here. It's pretty funny.
Oh, sure, yeah. Make sure that I don't miss this.
That's cool. All right, man. Well, as far as the June 15th release date, I know that's a big date for you. I mean, what are you gonna do? You gonna go to a record store and pick it up, or what's the plan?
For me, I guess in this day and age, I'm gonna download it on iTunes. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But no, really, I'll probably be living. For many hours, I'll probably be living on the internet just to see how the fans are reacting. Like I'll probably be responding to messages as best I can. A fun thing I do a lot of times on the Facebook page is, I'll leave a status update, and a lot of people will comment on that, and then kind of like a chat board or something. Like I'll respond to people on that so people can see my responses, and like a chain just kind of starts, and everybody kind of joins in. So I'll probably be doing something like that, reading some of the YouTube comments. The most important thing for me, and I think for all of us, since we're so proud of this album, and it's been so long, until we can finally put it out there, that I'm really curious to see what the fans think and how they respond to some of the newer material.
This interview was brought to you by AlternativeAddiction.com.